Are we live?
Are we live?
Usually I'm not the one that's late. One day I'm going to learn the lyrics to this.
All you got to know is turn it all around, Zombie.
Turn it all around like this. Stir it all up.
Are we
Isn't
starting?
that what we're saying? Stirring the ash?
Clickbait.
Oh, wait, we got to get to the chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live tonight, March 12th, 2026, the year of our Lord, as some of us like to say.
I have a little.
That's what made me think of it.
Yeah,
that's what made me think of it. That's a story for another day in and of itself. I am Daniel, your moderator. That is your moderator extraordinaire. Down the river tonight. You can see it by the look on his face. It's Mr. Excitement. Nobody starts faster than the one, the only Chip.
Spirit fingers.
And on the other side of the transatlantic cable, the man, the myth, the legend, he who cannot be contained, Zombie Bob.
How are you, folks?
Yeah,
I got a haircut the other day.
Chance wants to know, who have y'all pissed off today? The fun fact is, behind the scenes, there are people we've pissed off today, but that stays off the show, or do we?
No, off.
I'll make some side comments that if they're listening, they'll figure it out.
They're not.
But
I'm not going there.
I'll go there. Fuck it. What do we got to lose?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I made some mistakes. I let my anger get the best of me that day, and I'll admit to being wrong about that. But I was getting threatened. My boys were getting threatened. Now that guy was kind of an innocent bystander, but he was throwing some shade at us, and I held him in higher regards than I don't know. I was blinded, So but nothing. I have nothing against those dudes. Whatever.
So Chance says, so yesterday y'all were mentioned, not by name, but I think called idiots on Tiger Bait. Gotta love it. Gotta love it, because you can't have an opinion about certain people. That's what I learned.
What's not the droppings? What's Tiger Bait?
Tiger Bait's the old school website. Oh. Come on, Zombie. You got to know these things.
Were we on the website, or we were actually called
on the message board?
Angie called us an idiot. Chance, really? We've always been supporters of him.
Well, do we know it was Sanji? Do we not know it was Preston Guy? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I learned through this whole thing is, if they wear a helmet, you can criticize them. If they don't wear a helmet, you can't criticize them. But then that rule doesn't apply to the basketball team, because the basketball team sucks. The players on the basketball team suck, according to everybody else. So you can say it if they're not wearing you can criticize them if they wear a helmet, but the basketball team doesn't apply to that rule. Did I follow all that right, Chip?
Yeah, that's what I was told today.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
But listen, everybody can have their opinions.
No,
you have
not everybody. Not everybody.
No, not us.
Not us. Right.
No, you can have your opinions. You just can't have it about certain people. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Certain people. Relax. Certain people.
Yeah. I used to like Mike a lot. But now
I still do. 150,000 views. We did not do it for clickbait. I wasn't even here. We didn't do it to troll. We didn't do it to, go viral or anything like that. It was an opinion. It was expressed, just like everything else that we talk about here on the variety show. Okay, this one touched a nerve.
I'd say it again. He needs to be lowered in the batting order. We said he's the best defensive shortstop in the country. He needs to be lowered in the batting order. If you can't understand that, I don't understand. I can't help you. And you don't have to agree with me.
Clips. Scarbo just heard over a fucking. He just saw a tweet probably. Anyways, but I don't know. Fuck him.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
It's all good. Like everybody just wants their clickbait off of our clickbait. So again.
Yes. I have said that. Chance says Milam is Mr. Postseason. I have said that when I've gotten in arguments with people on Twitter. I totally conceded that, and I don't disagree with that. The context was what's wrong with this lineup right now? Why are we not scoring runs?
And we talked
that
about
was it. We went down the lineup. That was the context. So, but postseason, he is Mr. Postseason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Except the time he hit a ground ball when the game was on the line, and it would have been a double play if the shortstop for Arkansas didn't shit down his leg. But
the Arkansas guy made a mistake. I don't fault him for that. Like that's I don't fault him for anything. I hope he bats 380 in the next time. Like, come on.
G-Moo said, sad part is you backed up what you said with straight stats. He batted 211 in SEC play last year. He's batting 250 against inferior competition this year. I know his on-base percentage is great, but you don't want a guy with a bad slugging percentage in the middle of your lineup. If you want to put him as a leadoff hitter, I can buy that argument.
Yeah, I can buy leadoff too. I said the same thing to, I forget who it was. He's like, but I like him at leadoff. Like, I do too.
I like him at leadoff. I don't like him at 3 and 4, and that was the whole point. Yeah.
But we probably shouldn't have used the word suck. I think we did use the wrong word. We didn't. We were upset. There's no doubt about it. But yeah.
Oh, we clicked on that at the same time, Zombie. Will Wade will bring the magic back. All right, so let's start with something here, okay? Well, do we want to wait? We have a guest tonight.
We do have a guest tonight. No, we're going to wait basketball until after the 9:30 break.
Okay, so we'll wait on that. Do we want to cover LSU versus
Kentucky? The men's basketball game?
Well, no, we'd be talking about basketball with
well, yeah. Then the men's what?
No, baseball. LSU versus Vanderbilt.
Big weekend. Coming up. We'll see you on the other side.
Chip, you got anything?
No, I'm just.
Are we allowed to say anything?
No, we'll wait. My cat is like going crazy.
I hadn't even heard your cat until you said that.
Good.
So I did have somebody say, that we should, going back to what we were just saying about the whole Milam thing, is that this podcast, it might not be for everybody because yes, we like to have fun. Like we like to goof off. But at this, you're not having fun, Zombie?
Not since, no.
Damn. I thought this was fun for you. Anyway, they were saying, yes, y'all do like to goof off, but you also got to let people know that, like, if you want to listen to the CNN, the Fox News of LSU athletics, this podcast is not for you. We're not just going to throw brainwashing material out there and just go with the company line, the narrative set by the athletic department. We actually use our brains. Not saying we're the smartest people in the world, but we're the smartest people in the world, and we use our brains, and we have a little bit of critical thinking. So we don't always buy what is being shoved in our face. For example, they asked Will Wade a question after his game today. I see minions on Twitter that are like, oh, yeah, he says he's staying. What do you expect him to say? And so this
we've been through this before.
So we're the podcast that's going to break those things down and say, you know what? That's the classic non-answer answer.
Right.
And so we use critical thinking here. Do we know everything? No. But we're the critical thinking podcast. Independent media, right, Zombie?
Well, I mean, that part is just funny in that, there were those that were friendlies that, took shots at the Baton Rouge media, and I retweeted that and said that there are options, and and tagged all the then friendlies, as I like to call them, and all good. So yeah, there's options out there. Yeah, and look, go all the way back. we've talked about this several times on the podcast. At some point last fall, Daniel's sister said, like if you guys would just, take this serious and stick to sports, you do something with this. And I'm like, it's not us. Like, we're going to have fun. We're going to talk our stuff. We're going to bullshit. We're going to do ad reads for, for advertisers that don't exist. We're going to do contests. We're just going to do our thing. Like, this is fun. This is not a day job for any of us. But we are essentially, I've been called the drunk uncle, at a family get together. That's fine. Like, this is just us bullshitting around on crawfish boil or a barbecue pit or, kid's birthday party. So, like, whatever, it's all good. But we are a bit of a variety show because, I've told you the story. We talked about our dad's passing back in January on the 20th anniversary. He had one sibling, one younger sister. I see her and our uncle once every couple of weeks for either breakfast or lunch here in Vanderbilt. And God bless them because they watch the episodes from time to time. And she said to me, she's like, well, I'm not a sports person, but it takes y'all a little while to start talking about sports. Yeah. You want to, look, we appreciate all of y'all. From the jump, we've said that, we're not for everybody. That's fine. There's enough of them out there that you can find your niche. We sincerely appreciate y'all, especially G Moose and Chet and Chance and Oops and, Mrs. Pizza, Queen Pizza, whatever she's going by this week, Mr. Spotify, especially Mrs. Spotify. We appreciate all of our 10s of 10. So, it's all good. Peace, love, and harmony and LSU victories. That's what we're all about, right?
Peace, love, harmony, LSU victories.
I think that should go on a shirt.
Sounds good. Sounds like a good one.
Right.
Speaking of peace, love, and harmony, LSU being sued today. Do we got any thoughts? I got to be careful. Full disclosure, I actually deleted a tweet today. I think, Chip, I told you this, but I don't think I told Zombie this. That literally, at first, I ranted and raved about it on one of Rufino's back and forth with one of the reporters. Then I realized one of those reporters is actually a client of mine. So then I deleted my tweet. And
separation of church and state.
Yeah, he helped me get me hired in a certain neighborhood that I still manage. So I'm a little nervous about this topic because I can't say what I really think. So I turn to you two.
Respect to AYS and Blake Rufino, coming to, he was right on everything he said. Here's the thing. Okay, yeah, we'll do it. So what do we only have to do it though? It's just like the smoking weed shit. It's like Tyrann Mathieu can get kicked off the team for smoking weed, but in Alabama could play have a sawed off and a fucking AK-7 in his car with marijuana.
Right. Yeah, right. The kid
I know the answer to this.
Okay. Go ahead.
Chip's point. Because I watched a little bit of Rufino interviewing her tonight.
Oh yeah, how was that? I need to watch that tonight.
So apparently she says she's doing it because in other states it's Louisiana is special because there's a law that even like the LSU athletic department still has to disclose, even if it's private funds. Like anything involving the university, even if the funds are private, they still have to disclose to the Freedom of Information Act. And we're unique and we're one of the only states that have that. So my answer to that is the fucking Louisiana legislature needs to get off their ass and get that fucking tightened up right now. Like today.
Yeah, they need to just make the law.
Now you want to suppress the press, Daniel? You want to limit the press to the brother.
I didn't realize Nakamoto's on that. Nakamoto's really freaking good. I know y'all aren't local here to Baton Rouge.
I know.
Do you know who Nakamoto is?
He's taken over listen, anyone who comes in, I can talk shit about LSU, but you can't.
Yeah.
We're season ticket holders. We give money to the university a lot.
But why did the legislature, why did the university not see this coming? Like, why did we not have a lawsuit?
Come on, Louisiana politics. Are you kidding me? Why would they?
But we could have tightened this up before this loophole. Like, why are we the only state that has this law that the university has to disclose even if it's private funds? Are we that corrupt? Oh, it took me a second.
Chance, you win, brother.
All right, so Zombie, do you know who Chris Nakamoto is?
Yeah, he owned the plaza in Los Angeles.
You know how isn't Lee Zurich like the investigative
reporter?
That's who Nakamoto. Nakamoto is the Baton Rouge version of Lee Zurich.
Chance.
So usually Nakamoto, if he knows his shit. So once I realize,
so what are we thinking? Like, so let's say this gets through, right? And it's gonna fuck us, right?
Oh yeah, that we're like this goes through, we're fucked. We need some where's that Mississippi judge that
yeah, we won't do that.
That Chambliss guy. We need that guy.
We got that Chambliss, that the community college alum and the Ole Miss alum, and
the Grand Dragon
goes to church with his family. Yeah,
or the Grand Wizard. Excuse me, not Grand Dragon. That's Asian.
Oh my god! Right. Oh, wait. Here we go. There we go.
The legal disclaimer. Shout out G Moose.
Is it's funny to me. Yeah, legal disclaimer. It's funny to me though. It seems like we always eat our own, man. Like these are people. It's called freaking Tiger Rag magazine, for Christ's sake. It was notorious when I was younger.
Well, that's the part, like that guy, like why I understand Nakamoto. He's the investigative guy. I understand Piper. What's her last name? Hutchinson.
With LSU though.
But no. But that it's not their job to cover sports, is what I'm saying.
No, you're right. You're right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
One's investigative. One works with the LA legislature or whatever. But like Tiger Rag getting involved in this, like if you're subscribed to Tiger Rag. Think about that. I'm saying that it will. The question is, who asked it? Will it hurt the program?
Absolutely.
So, Tiger Rag. No, I mean, what am I saying is wrong here, Zombie? Like, it will hurt the program, no doubt. If that information gets out, because we will be the only team in the country that has to disclose how much they're getting paid, and this is coming from a what are they? A news or whatever the fuck they are, a subscription-based service that covers the football team, and they're trying to torpedo their literal cash cow. I'm not saying cancel. I'm just saying think about
it.
Do not clip that one and put that one out there in the ether.
Well, Scarborough.
Oh, he's going.
I mean, he called us an idiot.
Yeah, he did call us an idiot. He doesn't know me. He doesn't.
Hey, man, I'm the one treading lightly here. I've worked with Nakamoto in the past, and I'm actually complimenting him on this.
Well, yeah, it's his job to do that, but
Blake,
Blake,
honored. We are honored.
Blake, I was listening to you earlier. And good interview there. And actually, I had some insight from that interview. I didn't know that Louisiana is one of the only states that has this stupid law where the university has to freaking disclose this. This is stupid. Like, why have we not closed that up? You know,
Blake, we appreciate you sincerely.
He's the man.
No, absolutely.
He's a phenomenal. I mean, he's done a fantastic job. And because he's real, he's honest, he's himself.
Yes.
Does it hurt them? Did I say too much about it hurting the program? I mean, I don't feel like I'm that far off.
Wait, we're going back.
I mean, when I saw it, it's like, we're fucked. Like that's when I first saw that. And of course, listen, she's just doing her job, and kudos to her for going on AYS and and engaging with him, like, for sure.
No, sure.
But she's on the wrong team for me. So even though she is an LSU alumnus.
All right, Blake, not that you need us to help you sell merch. You have a great AYS, the brand in and of itself. So and the merch store that you have with all the products and such. But let's do a little partnership here. I mean, I think this on a t-shirt
I'll wear it.
I mean,
somebody
look,
send me a Milam jersey.
Blake,
I'll wear it.
There's a marketing opportunity right here, Blake. You know, like you want to go 60-40 you know, like 62-38 you, like we'll go to that far. But that shirt will sell. That shirt will sell. Hey, look, Miss Joy will buy one. You know, so.
Chet says AYS Caprice. Shout out to our day one sponsor, Dickies, home of the angry Caprice. Chet knows. And get that hashtag promo code #overrated, right, Zombie?
Absolutely. Oh my
Send
God,
me a
it's
Milam
so
jersey, I'll wear it.
Absolutely.
As Chip says, I'm a Milam fan. I know people don't actually believe this right now, but Chip said it defending my honor last night. I mean, 2 nights ago. He didn't have to say that. I didn't pay him to say that, but
no,
I just don't think he needs to be batting third or fourth.
He was batting fourth the other night.
Yeah, like
I told the guy, like, I don't mind him at first. I think that's great.
Don't put that on the screen, Zombie. Zombie, he's gonna lose the Zombie's gonna lose the chat because he's gonna scare off Blake on that one because Blake doesn't know the context of that one.
Blake, if you're still there, Daniel made me do an ad read
mention that
way back sometime last fall. I had no idea what it was. I'm convinced it came from one of his little minions, and I had to read an ad about bedazzled butt plugs.
That was before you had the chat and you didn't know how to preview the chat. So I threw it up there.
Blake.
Yeah, like you're going to scare people up. So.
Jesus.
All right, Blake, forget about the bedazzled butt plugs. The shirt, I'm here to defend Milam's honor. That one's, hit us up.
Chance says I should dye my hair like a tiger print, like Milam did to prove.
Yeah, I like that. Dude, I like that. That's wild and crazy.
The problem is there's some holes up here, man, and I don't know if I could pull it off.
Okay.
I want that Milam, though. I want the dyed hair Milam. I think he should dye his hair again. That was crazy and awesome.
That was freshman year, right?
That is too funny.
A little bit
Blake, in all honesty, we sincerely appreciate you, man. Absolutely. A, that you popped in tonight. B, that you popped in way back when, and you gave us some time and came on the show. We sincerely appreciate that. So,
yes.
It's why I will defend him till. Well, I've always been a listener, but
bedazzled hair plug.
I will take a bullet for IYS because he's the man, and I think he's and not to say that anybody else is a fake Tiger fan. He is a real. He's an OG. He's like us. He was born with it.
He did dye it both years. His freshman year was the tiger print, though, right?
Yeah, I want that guy back. Not to say, and I think he's going to improve, hopefully. And like I've been around, we've been watching. I've forgotten more baseball than most people who now claim they're huge LSU baseball fans. But I remember 2008 when we were not even going to make the tournament, and we won 4 series in a row, swept every team, and what did we win? How many? 22 straight games, 24. Like
in 2008, I think it was 26.
Turn it around. There's no doubt about it. It is terrifying now to drop 2 against Sacramento State. It's not like dropping 1 to Omaha.
No, some of the teams we lost to are bad. Like I said it from the get-go, like I can take losing to McNeese. It was the response the following weekend that
they're in a funk right now for sure. And
I didn't realize the team ERA is so bad.
Well, it was high.
I was kind of surprised about that as well.
It was high to begin with. Like I think we gave up some runs in the beginning of the season that were a lot.
But still, it's like one of the worst in the SEC. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it seems. Yeah, to me, I mean, the pitching stats got to get better too. But I thought they were pretty good. But you look at the stat wise. Now there have been a lot of errors. Yeah,
but that doesn't affect ERA though. That actually helps your ERA.
You're right. I'm talking about yeah. Well,
no, the fielding. Somebody posted something. Was it Zombie? Was it you that sent it to me? Where it's like the fielding percentage. The fielding percentage sucks. The ERA sucks, and
hitting like
ranked amongst SEC teams.
Milam,
I should be careful what I say about
sucks. Field though. Milam is perfect on the field. I just want everybody to know that. We know.
Jake Brown said it's like Milam's scoring runs defensively. I think he said that today, right? I saw that on Twitter. So nobody ever criticized his defensive play.
Yeah.
People who didn't watch the clip think I did.
Yes, and listen,
I'm going to get tagged every time he makes a great defensive play all season. I'm going to get tagged, and I'm just going to reply the same thing. That clearly you didn't watch the clip. Shout out to Yellow Snow. I've never seen Yellow Snow before.
It's fake. It's got.
But have you ever eaten yellow snow?
Don't eat the yellow snow.
G-Moo says, damn, another Daniel burner popping up.
It's not.
Yellow Snow is saying something Daniel would say, that they are doing everything they can for Will Wade. That's everything that I've heard.
Love Yellow Snow.
And for the record, like, people have asked me, like, where's that info coming from? That info's coming from people in Lake Charles. Like, so take that for what it's worth. Like, people in Lake Charles and their connections to Wade Roos and
therefore
indirectly connected to Will Wade, that's where the relationship is strong. So they are doing everything that they can.
I mean, that's what we've been hearing for a year now. So
he tried last year.
Absolutely.
Shout out all those from DeRitter. DeRitter knows. DeRitter, home of the bullet. Johnny Jones.
Johnny Jones.
I know my boy Austin knows that. Zombie, did you know
take
Johnny Jones was?
Yeah, of course. Everybody knows Johnny Jones.
I would take.
Didn't he play with Rudy Macklin?
Yep. Point guard.
There you go.
1979 team through 83, maybe?
Rudy was very good back in the day before you two whippersnappers were born.
Well,
Rudy Macklin, his jersey's retired, Zombie?
As it well should be.
Okay, look at you, Zombie.
I was a big Rudy Mack guy back in the day, in the late 70s.
Dude,
in fact, when they beat Kentucky at Kentucky, what was that, 78, 79?
79.
79.
It might have been the 80s season.
I feel like it was 78, 79. But I watched that live at Grandma and Grandpa's house.
My dad says that's wild. That was wild.
Yeah.
Time.
Zombie, I tagged you on something. Friend on Twitter, vintage. I tagged you on this and you didn't respond, is what I'm saying.
Well, you tagged me on everything today.
Follow vintage LSU football. Is that it?
Yeah, he stumped me and Chip today. All
Henry
SEC.
Thomas?
Yeah. He did.
He knows Henry Thomas.
We don't.
That's one guy, I feel like an idiot for not knowing. And then I went and watched old games. I'm like, how did I never notice that dude?
He was side by side with cousin Oliver.
Love that chance. Yes, and that's why.
That's why you didn't respond to any of my.
You were going a little heavy there this morning, so earlier.
Yeah, but Henry Thomas was relevant, and you just ignored me, man.
Well,
Zombie Bob. Zombie Bob. Or go ahead.
Well, you hit me with the cousin Oliver. You hit me with something. You used to watch this when you were a kid in 1889. Yeah, I said it, 1889. There's a few of them that you hit me with.
Zombie, I'm trying to change up our Twitter profile because people think that we think of ourselves too seriously. So I'm trying to change things up. I'm getting Chet involved. I'm getting G-Moose involved. Trying to break the ice with people.
We're very serious. Look, I'm an ordained minister. I found this today in the garage when I was cleaning up.
That's what you need. You need to start a website, and that'll be our next sponsor. So we'll do New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints presented by Universal Life Church, the Right Reverend Zombie Bob, who doesn't want to be married by a zombie, right?
You were.
I was married by a zombie, and I highly recommend. So on that note, are we ready?
That was the ad read for the bottom of the hour.
The ad read for the bottom of the hour.
Hey, we're only 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
30 minutes in, and it feels like 5 minutes because we've talked about nonsense for 30 minutes. But we do have plans.
But we had Blake drop by, so we're very honored about that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Goose Sports. Shout out to, I missed this one earlier. I saw it, but I forgot to say it. Where was Gabagool Gabe? He was in there, right?
He was up there a while
ago.
Yo, Goose.
But Austin is standing by and ready. So I'm going to add him now if you guys are ready. Or do y'all have anything else?
No. We're ready. Right on cue.
Clap him. Hey,
Austin, welcome to the program. Hopefully we've got all our nonsense out of the way for this evening.
What's up, fellas? So I'm actually going to turn my light back on. I thought my lights would look cool, but it's a little bit too much. So I'm going to turn my big light back.
Oh,
I was watching you set those up, and I was thinking those are pretty cool. Zombie, how come you don't have any of those?
I'm not cool. I'm not cool like Austin is.
Zombie, you're cooler than you think, brother. Man, you've been to parades after Mardi Gras. I don't want to hear none of that.
Oh, I got 2 of them on tap this weekend.
You used to be.
Hey, man. One of these days, I'm going to have to get an invite to come down and see you.
Oh, the invite's extended. Anytime you want to come down, we'll have you. We'll make it happen.
Where can people catch you this weekend, Zombie?
Look, out of everything that I do, right? I ride Morpheus, Endymion, Bacchus. We did the Gretna Parade. We're doing the Metairie Road Parade for the Irish Italian. We're doing the Louisiana Irish Italian on the 22nd. We used to do, but we're not doing it this year in Chalmette. The first week of April. This year it's the second week of April due to Easter Sunday. This Saturday, the Irish Channel St. Patrick's Day is my single favorite thing that I do every year. I love everything else. This is my single favorite day of the year. So we're in the Irish Channel on Saturday, and then we're riding Metairie Road's Irish Parade on Sunday. Actually, with you're right here, right, Daniel? With Daniel. Yes. Daniel's riding, making his second or third appearance on Metairie Road.
Second appearance on Metairie Road.
There you go. So
I am looking forward to that. I just want to throw oranges. That's all I want to do. I'm loosening up the can.
Underhand toss. Underhand toss.
I'm chunking those things. I want to be on the back of the float.
Toss.
I want to be on the back of the float, so that way I can spot a guy like 50 yards away and just put it right on the money.
Right in the.
And then there's this one
law enforcement comes up to the float, I'm gonna be like, toss his ass.
Wait a second, you put me on the driver's. You put me on the driver's side this year, huh?
Yeah, we're on driver's
side. So I
side.
can't hit the swimming pool.
Yeah, you can.
But I'd have to go over the people on the other side, though, right?
Yeah,
that's probably the funnest.
No, that is so the first time I rode it, Zombie Bob said there's this one house. They have like a swimming pool. It's not in their front yard. It's like in their side yard. And he's like, you can nail the swimming pool. And so when you see it, unload on the swimming pool. So I saw the swimming pool and I had a box of oranges and I'm just one after another trying to throw I think it was potatoes. It was there's
a body shop on the driver's side on Metairie Road. Rocky from St. Rose and I were on the passenger side. So the body shop was boiling crawfish, but one of those half barrel things, Daniel. And we, from the passenger side, we were splashing the crawfish boil. So they're like, enough. And I had to close it all up.
Splashing boiling water up.
That was in my younger days. Enough of the bullshit. Austin, that's why we said, just give us 30
you take
minutes.
the lead, Zombie. Sorry, because I'm...
No. Austin, that's why we were like, give us 30 minutes to get through the bullshit. We should have said, give us 34 minutes to get through the bullshit. But
hey, man, you're like 34 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay.
Okay. You got the clock running on us. So no, it's all good, man. It's all good. So Austin, thank you for coming on tonight and taking the time out of your schedule and joining us. And before we dive in, we got a little basketball we want to talk with you. We certainly want to talk, you and I. These two guys don't know anything about the New Orleans Saints. We got to talk a little Saints free agency, you and I. But first, before we do that, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you got going on, how you got to be an LSU fan, your podcast that you have going, and your social media where everybody can find you.
Yeah. So what's up, everybody? My name's Austin. You see Fourth and Go. That's the name of my podcast on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok is something that I'm active in. I don't know why, but I am. And I actually my mom's from Gainesville, Florida, which is a crazy thing. So I recently sent Lone a picture, and I'm just going to leave it at that, right? Of my mom blackmailing me for the rest of my life at 5 years old in a Florida Gators outfit, okay, with my baby brother sitting on my back. And I'll send that to y'all after this. I just, to put that in here. But born, raised, grew up in Georgia. My dad's from DeRidder. My whole family's DeRidder, just like Johnny, just like my cousin Elijah. Wayne was down there too at a time. And so for me, that's where I grew up every summer. I went there every summer, right? Like I was with my Uncle Cecil sitting in his house looking at all the Raiders gear on his walls because he used to go to the camps and provide uniforms and things like that for the lower income people there in the city of DeRidder. And so that's how I grew to love sports. My love for LSU really came from my dad first. At a young age, just like my son, it's just LSU was all I knew. I didn't know anything else. My mom put me in a Gators uniform, and I'm 5, but I remember like my dad getting on her because he's like, "What are you doing? Like, you put my kids in Florida Gator stuff and went and took pictures and didn't tell me. Like, what is that?" And so I just think like it's been ingrained in me, right? Like I have LSU tattooed on my body. My favorite animal is a tiger. My favorite color is purple. Like everything that points directly to LSU.
Right.
And some people may think, I said it on my show on a clip that I just did, but some people may think I'm an implant because I don't have the accent. I say Louisiana a certain way, like, but I'm not. I may not have grown up in Baton Rouge, but my family's from that area, New Orleans area, DeRidder and Lake Charles area. Man, actually, so I was born in Snellville, Georgia, at a hospital that no longer exists. Okay, they closed it, Eastside Medical. And then I was in Forsyth County growing up. So if you ran into me somewhere, West Forsyth High School, played a little basketball in Dawsonville, Georgia once upon a time. But yeah, so, and then LSU's been everything I know. I've gotten in arguments. I've gotten in fist fights over LSU, like all types of stuff. So I almost lost my best friend over LSU. That's why I don't argue with people about it anymore. That's why I'm not going to mention some things on this show with all the what y'all are saying today, because I just ain't got time. I just ain't got time. We're talking.
Me and Chip have not stopped. We've stopped talking to each other like twice over LSU athletics.
Yeah.
One time, didn't we get in a fist fight over?
I remember Jalen Collins was one of them.
Jalen Collins was one of. What? But
Jalen Collins of all people.
Really? Yeah, it was like the number of snaps that he played in a game, and
then he went and sucked with the Falcons.
Yeah.
Well,
I defended him.
He was good at first with the Falcons. Yeah.
No. I wasn't that I didn't like him. It was like, dude, he didn't play that much.
It was something so stupid.
No, you said he didn't play that much, and I was like, no, he played a fuck ton. I watched the whole game. I was right there. I was on the 50-yard line.
But Austin, that just ties back into what you're saying. You know, like we learned LSU from our dad. I joke that even though I was at LSU when Joey Bell was there with his twin brother, Terry, I didn't know that LSU baseball existed because as a kid growing up, it was LSU football. And then we were just talking about Rudy Macklin and Dale Brown's teams in the late 70s. So I knew there was a baseball team. A basketball team. I'm joking about not really knowing there was a baseball team until the 90s. But that's when Daniel and Chip grew up. So they grew up in the golden era with Skip Bertman. And I didn't even realize. But it's just that passion. You know, like you learn it usually from your dad or your family. And you become passionate about it. And that's why these two have, butted heads over it. And, we were at the Tennessee game in 2022 with a friend of ours, Big Orange Mac, that we met in 2017 up there. And like Chip and another LSU fan got into it. It was almost Big Orange Mac called it purple on purple crime because Chip and this guy were ready to throw down over Brian Kelly, right? The fight was about Brian Kelly or Les Miles. Or both.
I mean, at that point in time, it was ridiculous to dog on Brian Kelly. And listen, I know I always backed Jane Daniels up. I was a big Jane Daniels guy from when he was a freshman at Arizona. And there was somebody talking crap about Jaden and the coach. And Jaden actually had a pretty good game that game. But that was his junior year. Yeah. We all know what happened pretty much directly after that game. He kind of went off. And then he won the Heisman Trophy a year and a half later. But, yeah, I didn't, I was defending my coach, just like I will defend Lane Kiffin, just like I will defend. The only one it's hard to defend is our basketball coach. He's hard to defend.
Our current basketball coach, which is a perfect segue. I'll let you in, Austin, take that on with it.
I think he's a nice guy. There's nothing more than I would love him to be a winner, but it's obviously not working. I think he's the second worst SEC coach in history right now.
That's what Charles Hannegriff said today. Hannegriff said he did all the research, and the only person he could find worse, and I didn't think about it. It's somebody very recently. It was Tom Crean at Georgia, and that was
the worst losing percentage
in SEC play.
In SEC play, right?
Yeah. So Hannegriff said he looked back like the last 50 years, and that was the only one he could find with a worse losing percentage.
And he had the number one player in the draft.
And they were still terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did Johnny at one point.
Yeah.
You're allowed to criticize him, though. You're allowed to criticize him.
Listen, man. So if anybody comes at me for criticizing Johnny, and I'll go ahead and say, hey, John Jr., if you see this on Twitter, just bear with me, all right? But I think I was there the day that John got fired. Like, I was at the SEC tournament in Nashville. I drove 3 hours, got into it with my ex while we were there, drove 3 hours back to Knoxville, fell asleep driving, and somehow still got off on the right exit. Like, I didn't even get to see Wade, right? So, like, Wade was playing. He invited me out to come and watch him play. Johnny was the coach still. We didn't have the greatest season, but we all had heard rumors that they were going to fire Johnny after the fact. And then right after the game, Wade gets pulled for to talk to the reporters, and Johnny literally, like, got fired right after that. Like, it got announced right after that. So imagine being in Nashville, driving 3 hours to see your family, and your cousin / uncle / whatever gets fired the same night. Like, that's crazy. So
what's the significance of the Sims jersey?
So
I know it's Wade, but
but
rest in peace, obviously, to an awesome Tiger and a legacy.
Yeah. Well, so for me, what's the significance?
Yeah.
So I'm the family member, and since people want to claim, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I don't give a fuck.
Sure.
Since people want to claim that I'm clout chasing, right, and then they want to back down from the statement, right?
Yes.
And I've heard enough about that, and I've dealt with that enough the last couple of days. But I've never once, every single time I went to go see Wade, never got shit paid for. I drove from Knoxville to Baton Rouge 9 hours by myself and sat in his fucking, excuse my language, in his dorm for 12 hours a day while he's at practice eating breakfast, lunch, dinner with the team, and did nothing with him. So that shows you, like, my loyalties to my family, not to anything else. I have Wade on my necklace. That's the picture that they actually had in Tiger Stadium against Mississippi State when Ed Ogeron was the coach. The jersey my best friend Jake actually bought for me and sent to me after the fact, and my son's named after Wade as well.
That's cool.
And that's something that Faye, because of how dedicated I just was to him as a family member, not everything. Nothing else. I didn't care about nothing else. The dollars don't matter, right? He could be in the NBA now, and I would go and see him, and he doesn't have to give me shit. Elijah knows that. So that is my thing with the Wade jersey. My son's named after him. He's 5 years old. I deal with that every single day. I say his name every day, right? And I will forever live my life because he didn't have the chance to. And that's what matters every day. So sorry to get off subject.
No, not at all. I mean, absolutely. You know, like, I'm named after my dad. My son's named after the two of us. He was your family long before he was a college athlete, anything else. Family first and foremost. So we totally respect that and understand that, and admire the dedication to his memory. You know, like, we celebrated the 20th anniversary. Not celebrated, it's not the right word, but Daniel and I's dad passed in 2006. So January 15th of this year was the 20th anniversary of his passing. And just like you said, Austin, like, there's not a day that goes by that we don't talk about him. We don't imitate him. We don't make fun of him, you know, whatever. But, like, you know, they always say you die twice. Your actual death, and then when the last person on earth that knew you speaks your name for the last time, you know. So like, you have your son that's continuing that legacy, and like you said, family first and foremost, long before anything else, man.
So, and I'll show you all this too. I'm not gonna put Faye's address on here.
No, sure.
I love it.
But I have a manila folder full of stuff from his funeral, from Wayne's funeral, all the way down to this. And I'll show you all this. My son thinks this is cool. When Wade was a kid, Faye kept all his stuff.
Really?
Like, little things like this, man. Like, I have a pair of skinny jeans that I just now could fit into because I lost 35 pounds in the last year. That were Wade's, and my wife's like, "You could never fit those when I first met you." Oh, great! Thanks for reminding me.
Still one of the probably that Ole Miss game when it was the quietest I've ever seen the crowd when they announced his name. They put that picture up, and
it was the day after.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. It was the football game the day after.
Yeah, it was still one of the most.
It was Mississippi State, wasn't it?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss was the day after. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we wore. They might have gave the jersey and stuff to. They might have the family at the State game. Yeah, that would have made sense. Yeah, because that was about 2 months after.
Right.
But yeah, that the quietest I've ever seen LSU stadium. But yeah, I would say even quieter than when Alabama scored on us and against us
in the screen pass in 12.
Yeah,
because it was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was definitely. I remember hearing about it at 4:00 in the morning. Not to keep bringing it up, man. And
I remember where I was. I remember where I was when I heard it. I was in St. Rose at the gas station right before you go to our other brother's house. You know which gas station I'm talking about? Zombie.
Yeah.
We stopped there to get gas because I was borrowing something for the tailgate from Rocky. I think his fans at the time. I don't know, but whatever. But me and our friend Nathan were at the gas pump. Nathan's like, "Oh my God." We couldn't believe it that it happened. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah.
Not to be depressing.
Yeah.
Dude, you're good. And this is the thing too, like for me, and my stupid camera caught my hand up in the air earlier, so now it's AI tracking me. It's annoying. But I don't mind, honestly. Like I have to deal with it and live with it every day. Now I try in public, I'll wear this most of the time recently because it's just been a tough time. I usually put a 44. I just have a regular diamond 44 that I wear every day. But it wasn't until recently, like Elijah started wearing 44 in the Big Three. You know, I don't know if you know who Elijah Stewart is, but Elijah Stewart lived in DeRidder, went to USC, played at USC as I think like second in all-time threes. That's my cousin as well. And I got to see him in Boston. Yeah. And he didn't acknowledge, the 44 for a long time. And it wasn't because he didn't want to. It's because it's hard, right? Like he was in the NBA and they told him, "Hey, dude, sorry, you can't go be a pallbearer at his funeral or we're going to cut you." Like imagine that happening and you can't even go to your cousin's funeral. So he's in a place now where he's in a mental state where he can honor him too. Mm-hmm. And I just think that's what it is, man. You got to be able to talk about it. It's hard. It's hard for everybody. That's hard, but we're grown men. So
absolutely. But us talking about it keeps his name alive, So like you gotta continue to bring it up. One, because that asshole's still in jail. And I know
no, he's not actually.
He's not. Where is he now?
No, he's I would say in a better place than where he was. Very short after.
Did he
shortly after
end his life?
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, and when you said that, Chip, I
didn't want to say exactly what happened on. Yeah,
I totally remember.
We gotta be careful.
You don't want to get
especially with these algorithms.
Yeah, you'll get banned on X real quick.
Yes, I will. I've been banned before.
Yeah, we've had that happen where Chip was talking about like
I know I get carried away.
Yeah,
like
it was a football thing. Like, oh, that guy needs to get M-word.
Yeah. No.
And I'm like, whoa, Chip.
Yeah,
and then our video disappeared on Twitter.
Yeah, you can't say things like this, guys. Come on.
Yeah. So Austin,
and understandably why you got crazy people out there that.
So we're going to segue a little bit. Austin, you saw Will Wade's press conference after his basketball game today. Any thoughts on his answer?
Yeah, I texted somebody immediately, and I said, so I was texting them just saying what's up, telling them I love them, whatever, and I was like, "Do you think Will Wade's coming back?" And they said, absolutely, I do. And I'm not going to give too many details, but all I'm going to say is recently this person interacted and saw Will Wade.
Okay.
And so that tells me enough. And this was I'm talking about a week or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I don't think that would be said unless there was some feeling that maybe he really wanted to come back. I'm even wearing the same bracelet as him today. Like I was like, I saw him in the press conference with the Forever 44 bracelet on. So I said, I'm going to throw it on just in case,
Right.
But I think he did exactly what Will Wade's different than Lane Kiffin. So let me preface it that way.
Yeah.
He's going to try and do it the right way. He's just that type of person. I think personally, I think that outside of his legal stuff that he got into at LSU. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a genuine good person. He's going to go out the right way. He's going to set that program up for success. If he does leave, if he doesn't leave, then everything that he said today was valid. Right. I'm setting this program up for the future. I'm recruiting the players. I'm getting the players ready. I talk to my assistant coaches and the AD and this and that and whatever every day. But there's a love outside of just basketball here, right? There's a love for Faye. There's a love for Wayne. There's a love for our family specifically, and the memory that he had for him. I mean, I don't know if they still have Wade's locker pane and glass in the locker room.
Mhm.
I haven't been there in a long time, and I'd have to ask Skyler, but like he did that. He honored that. So it's more than basketball to him. And I don't know if that keeps him away or if that brings him back. But for me, I want Will Wade back. I don't give a shit what nobody says.
Of course.
Outside of John, like, dude, I want Will Wade, period. Go ahead. What were you saying, Chip?
I think people are so like stuck in their ways. You know, people are like, "Oh, he's not coming back." This is what he said to try to prove their point. Do y'all remember Nick Saban? What he said? like it's like this has been done a gazillion times, and we still act like they're.
Well, I know the reporters have to ask the question, but at some point, the question's worthless because you're not getting a real answer. You're getting the standard non-answer answer. And
I'm the coach of this team. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no opening at LSU right now. You know, how many times have you heard that before?
Oh,
the other job's not even open. Why are we talking about
this?
This?
He's not coming. Like, were you born yesterday?
Dude, NC State fans are so fucking annoying.
Oh God, they are. And that's the part you nailed that a lot of people don't understand is that Will Wade's deep love for Louisiana and LSU. And I've heard him tell stories, and I've heard him secondhand, about how he just like he walks in Tiger Stadium and he sees a Saturday night in Tiger Stadium and he just wants the PMAC to be that same way. Like that's all he wants. And he just fell in love with the place. And then he fell in love with Lake Charles because it revitalized his career. And so he's told people in Lake Charles that he hopes to be back in the future. So,
well, I take what you outside of one thing. I take as facts for the most part when it comes to that. So when y'all like we've talked, right? Like you guys have been around, Zombie. You've been around. Like y'all know more stuff than I at almost 30 will ever know. And so, you know, like we have to respect those who've been around LSU for a long time, and y'all are three of those who have been. Three who provide a lot of stuff to LSU, give a lot to LSU, love LSU, have been around it, played and been around it, right? So, like, people just need to show some more damn respect. That's what they need to do.
Absolutely. You know, I'm glad you said that. Yeah, our fathers were season ticket holders since we were 0. So before we were born. And when I take the offense to when people when they question my fanhood, I am a big baseball fan. I'm just not a baseball first guy, which I like to call them. I think they're nuts. And they act like they're better than everybody. They've probably been fans of LSU since 2015. I mean,
they want to abolish the basketball program,
yes,
but they don't even understand that would actually hurt the baseball program because the basketball program actually generates revenue and gives money essentially to the baseball program. And that if the basketball program succeeded at a high level, that just means more money for every other sport. Like Kim Mulkey has said it. She said it last year. She said, we need the men's basketball program to be better because it helps the rest of us when they're only making $2 million a year in that sport because we're terrible. But
worst it's ever been. Listen, when I was going to basketball games with my dad and Shaq was playing, and before that, the Tiger would come down from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
right.
Like it was the place to be. I'm not saying it was a basketball school, but it was pretty damn close because football was kind of going bad. LSU baseball was moving in the right direction, but basketball is a bigger sport nationally. And LSU is one of the best top fives. If you put a top 5 team, you're talking about Hall of Famers. You got Pistol Pete. You got Shaq. You got Abdul. What was Chris Jackson's second name?
Mahmoud Abdul Rauf.
Now he had a great NFL career. I mean NBA career. He didn't make the Hall of Fame, but dude, you got so many badass players, and you say what you want about Tom Crean. He still had a draft pick. I don't think we've had a draft pick since 2000. Since what's his name? He transferred from Cincinnati here. with Wade's last year with the Rock.
You talking about Antonio Blakely?
Yeah. Well, no, not Blakeney,
No.
but
Atari Eason.
Oh, Eason.
Yeah.
Eason was cold, yeah.
It was so quick because we lost him the next year because, I mean.
What didn't that who was that white center, the McMahon's second year? Did he get drafted late?
I don't think so. Was he the one from Texas? I forgot his name already. I know it
Will
sucks.
Baker, is that right?
Baker, yeah.
Oh, that boy was cold though.
He was.
I think he might have got drafted. I could be wrong on that because
okay. But I'm saying for the most part, I thought they had 0 draft picks. But
I could be wrong.
I wish McMahon was. I wish he was Wade 2.0 or better. It's just, Bob Pettit, Rudy, Chris Jackson. And then you think about Marcus Thornton, who dropped 44 points like 10 times in the NBA. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up and see if he got drafted. I don't know. I don't see it. But anyway.
All right, but now that the basketball season is over, how long do you think it is before they make a determination on the current coach?
I think it depends on how long Will Wade goes.
I
think it's
the tournament right now, right?
Well, they lost today. They lost to the 2 seed. So they're done.
I realized Virginia was that good because I haven't paid attention to basketball because I'm depressed.
Yeah, they were better. Virginia was better than expected. And so I think it just depends on how far NC State goes in the NCAA tournament. McMahon's not getting fired until NC State's done. And then I think if Will Wade says no, I think it's more likely Bill Armstrong's your next head coach than
they keep that and I would be
McMahon.
Strong. I'd be okay with Wade's assistant. That guy's doing great over there. They just won the league 3rd year in a row or 4th year.
Yeah, I think NC State going to the NCAA tournament gives you a backup plan that you could actually sell to the fan base. Because you didn't get Will Wade, but here's his right-hand man. And so that I think that literally saved this coaching search for Verge if they can't pull off Will Wade. But that's my opinion. I don't really. I heard one person say that who is here in Baton Rouge, Chip, who you know. But that's it.
It's a good person.
Well, Will Wade has a former LSU player on his staff too.
Which one?
I'd have to look up his Instagram. Let me see. Hold up.
Oh, you know who it is?
Here.
It was his
white boy.
Yeah, he was one of his walk-ons. He was like a walk-on fan favorite. Good looking dude.
Parker Edwards?
No, one Parker.
Was it the point guard? I know who you're talking about.
He was a good athlete. Like he's a good looking dude.
Yeah, he was like a little point guard, right?
It's not
was
Parker.
It's the St. Paul's kid?
No, Parker Edwards was the St. Paul's kid that was at Southeastern that drained like 23s in mop-up duty.
Which also legend.
Like I was in the PMAC that night, and he starts draining threes, and the crowd and the student. He's on Southeastern at the time.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd gets behind him, and he just keeps dropping them. And then at some point, we're with our buddy Nathan, and like all of a sudden, it's like an 11-point game. And Nathan stands up and is like, y'all need to shut the fuck up. Like, this is a game now. Y'all need to chill out. Like, just get this over.
That was a good Nathan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but legend, dude.
Because it went from like a 25-point game to like an 11 or a 12-point game just because of Parker Edwards scoring, I think it was 6 threes, or maybe it was 5. And it was like in a 2 or 3 minute stretch.
And Will Wade just knows the pulse of the fan base and like, I'm going to go bring that kid on.
Yes.
like it's just like, what a genius, what a brilliant move. It's spidey senses like Lane Kiffin. They're just very similar. Are they different? Sure. One's more abrasive, but they're both quirky. That's what you need at LSU. You need a guy who changes things up, who doesn't keep the same saying as
everybody else.
Boot up. Yeah, you think like I love that saying because Will Wade came out and Will Wade is that guy. To me, he's one of my favorite Tigers of all time for sure. Besides the punter, Zach Von Rosenberg with his quote today.
I knew he was going to say that.
It's hilarious, and I loved every second of it. But yeah, like it's just I hope it happens. But like Bill Armstrong, if he gets here, I'm going to be okay with it. I'm going to be okay with it.
But Austin, they have to make a change. They can't run back Matt McMahon because then there's absolutely no enthusiasm for next year.
Well, and I think you're building a new. When is the renovation supposed to happen? When are they getting rid of the PMAC?
Well, they're originally, I think it was 2028,
Okay,
but they haven't announced anything lately on it.
You will have loyal LSU fans attend. Nothing but women's basketball if they bring him back.
And they have every right. The best way.
Yeah, and I think you don't care. You showed us you don't care at that point. Like, you don't give a shit. Because if you keep him, he's a great guy. Great guy with his coaching career coming to LSU built off the back of John Moran. Like, I don't know how else to say it in a respectful way. My college literally beat their football team in their first year as a Division I team, and we're a D3 team where I played. Right, like, so he's a great guy. John Morant's a great player, but he's not great enough for you to get the job at LSU. And I don't know what they saw in him. I think he's recruited well, but I think that the players just never have worked. Like, he's had the talent the entire time. I think he finally got the talent this year, and he just can't put it all together. And it doesn't make you a bad person. It just doesn't make you a great basketball coach.
Right.
There's a level of arrogance you have to have as a coach at LSU, I think, across the board. I think Jay Johnson has it. I think Kim Mulkey has it at times. I think Lane Kiffin clearly has it. He brought his entire staff from Ole Miss and said, fuck you, essentially. And then you have Will Wade. Will Wade's a great guy, nice guy. He'll talk to anybody, but he is a level of arrogance that we need as well.
You need that. Yeah, you need that.
We need somebody like me when I was pissed off talking to Chip on the phone the other night, listening to Boosie before I had to call him because I was about to say something crazy.
Yeah.
I had to center myself. So
yeah, I always have to center. I'm with you on that. I always get lit up, and I made some poor choices the other day at a person, and like I said, things happen. But
if Daniel just wouldn't have posted that video, none of that would have happened.
I don't know why.
I didn't
even remember it. That's how.
If you would have left it in the podcast and not clipped it, you would have been fine.
I was telling the story the other night. Is like, I saw it and I thought to myself, this one might get some clicks, but I literally was like, none of our videos have done like more than like 200 lately because it's been kind of quiet since the baseball team started to suck. And so I was like, I went to lunch. And what was that, Monday? And right before I went to lunch, I'm like, fuck it, I'll post it. Nobody's even going to look at this. And so I posted it, and all of a sudden, didn't even think about it for like 4 hours. And then I get in my car to go home from the office, and I look at my phone. I'm like, holy shit. And it was like, and then all of a sudden,
Dan goes, I'm sorry. I'm like, about what? And he goes, oh, you haven't seen? And I go, holy shit, this is why my phone keeps going off.
And then I'm trying to explain it to Zombie, because Zombie wasn't on the show that night. And he's like, that's all you said? And he's like, what's the big deal? I'm like, well, I mean, LSU baseball fans are a little crazy, but Zombie doesn't follow the baseball that close.
Right.
Not like that.
But anyway, sorry.
I'll
say this. You're okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, the LSU baseball fans are very similar to like new age Alabama football fans.
Gabe said that earlier.
Yeah, he did. He was right, and I didn't see that. There you go.
Gabe says that LSU baseball fans are about as reasonable as Alabama football fans, and we're not saying all LSU baseball fans. We're talking about those.
I'm an LSU baseball fan, but I'm not
vocal minority.
There's like a subculture of LSU baseball fans that like don't care about football, don't care about basketball. They are diehards, and kudos to them for being diehards. But when it comes to being reasonable, they get a little out there.
Yes, and they know baseball more than anybody else.
G-Moo says, how many views does it have? It's over 150,000, I think.
I think it just had 100 and I think you had 190,000 engagements as of today on Twitter.
Yeah. Something like that.
I checked it. But
out of all the bullshit that we've said,
yeah, we've said so many other.
Y'all said some off the wall stuff, dude.
Yeah, dude, look at me. I've said some off the wall. I've been doing that my whole life. Like, that's what's really funny is they think we're doing it for clicks. No, I just say whatever's on my mind, unfortunately, and I've been able to grow some tact in my life with where I work now because I have to be professional.
Yeah.
What also is funny is my boss is like, I agree with you. Actually, it's funny that he's a huge baseball fan.
He's not the only person.
Yeah.
No, in real life, everybody's like, listen, like
you're not wrong.
Yeah, I don't fully, but like I understand where you're coming from. Like
so
But
so for
on
my
Twitter,
other Braves fans out here, they'll understand this. I told Chip this other night. Was Jason Hayward not the same way?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jason Hayward, and no hate to Jason Hayward. I loved him.
He's sick.
It sucks that he left Atlanta and we didn't re-sign him, but like outstanding right field. Outstanding, right? He could not hit more than maybe 19 to 20 home runs season in and season out, and he never was going to be a threat. He was not Freddie Freeman. He was not Andrelton Simmons at times, right? Like, for people who question if I know anything about baseball, I love the Braves, right? So LSU is something I have to learn more. I've watched it growing up. I don't know as much as you guys do, so I'm tapping out of that conversation now because I'm not going to be the person who takes all the smoke for that. I don't have the knowledge. But Jason Hayward literally is exactly what Stephen Milam has been at times, up and down. Great on defense. That's never going to change. That is where he is the best, period. Like, he is the best, right? But you're just not what you were at the plate, and you have up and down moments, and you're clutch when we need it. But are you consistent all the time? Right? Uriel last year was consistent all the time. Can't say the same for Milam.
But listen, I think when we were, sorry, Daniel, but we were, I'm sure Daniel will attest to this, but I liked him spraying the ball his freshman year. I loved it. I don't know if he's I think he's got decent power, but I mean, if you talk to LSU fans, he's got Frank Thomas power. He's got kicker.
That's my issue is people are saying he's the best shortstop in college baseball, and he's not. Like, the kid at UCLA, he's a stud.
Defensively, you can argue that. 100%.
Yeah, but they're saying he's the best overall player, and that was my point. Is he's not? And I'm not trying to shit on the kid. And Chance asked,
"You're saying all around he's not?"
Yes. Right. Chance says, "Have y'all gotten any hate from New Mexico?" His mom does follow us now, so shout out to Mrs. Milam.
Thank you for liking and
keep a close eye on the program. Make sure
I hope
hit
that
like
he
and
comes
subscribe.
back. I love what he did last week, like what he did on Wednesday. I love that he walked, he got a base hit, and I think he get hit by pitch too. That's what I want from him. And also, the home runs are great, but do I think that and listen, I'm not a soothsayer. I can't get in the mind of him. I loved his home run against South Carolina to walk it off. I fucking love that shit. But I almost think it's like he hits for power now, because LSU needed him to hit for power last year because we didn't have that many power guys. So I almost think I wish he would go back to spraying it down the first base line and hitting doubles. That's what I want.
As a friend of mine said to me yesterday, he needs to quit being average at both sides of the plate, pick one, and be good at batting from one side of the plate. You're not a switch hitter because you're not really that good at either one of them. So
we're getting clipped. We're fucked.
No, I'm not clipping it. I'm not clipping that.
You can't say that because he doesn't wear a helmet. Actually, they do wear helmets, though, by the way.
Bad in helmet. All right, so here's a nice little segue.
Yeah, Zombie, steer us another way.
Daniel, name 3 New Orleans Saints free agents that have signed with other teams this offseason.
Cam Jordan. Did he sign?
He hasn't. No. He hasn't signed.
DeMario Davis.
Yep. Where'd he go?
The Broncos.
Whoa, man!
All right, name another Saints.
The Jets. I knew it was a former Saints coach.
You're welcome. Okay. I don't think Zombie wanted me to tell you.
No, it's okay.
No, Zombie one. Okay. No, listen. So me and Zombie, we are brothers, but we're 19 years apart. Okay, and by the time I came along, our old man was so beat to death by the Saints that when I was 6 years old, I remember they lost the game and I started crying when they lost. And the old man literally put me on his knee and was like, if you cry about the Saints losing, you're going to cry a whole lot in your life. And he looked at me and said, as long as LSU wins on Saturday, it doesn't matter what happens on Sunday. And that was during the Curly Holman days when he told me that too. Think about that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I've taken that philosophy my entire life. Chip calls me a troll when it comes to the Saints because My first favorite NFL team was the San Francisco 49ers. And like Zombie thinks that's a troll, but like that was Steve Young and Joe Montana back then.
Right.
So I'm not.
Camera's about to piss me off.
I am.
That is
yeah.
terrifying.
Mine does that sometimes too. But that's
Wait for it to turn green. My bad. Let's see.
No, you're fine.
There you go.
But yeah, so my Saints knowledge. I don't claim to be a Saints guy.
I don't know. I hear you. One that you came up with. You won for
Well,
two.
we got a new punter. I know the new punter is fat.
We didn't ask who we signed. You
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
ask who we
The
signed.
No.
was-
So that means our punter left. So that means
No.
some.
Actually, Mickey Loomis is cooking so well. He traded the punter, who was what, Austin, ranked 31 out of 32 or 35 out of 32.
He was horrible.
Traded him to Arizona and got a swap of a 6th and a 7th pick because Mickey Loomis of late is cooking, right? And then, but the Tulane, it was the Tulane punter. What's his first name? His last name is Wright. I guess just Mr. Wright.
It's a good move, by
Ryan.
the way.
Ryan.
Wright, right?
Yeah.
So then
He played in Minnesota.
Yeah. So he's the 4th highest paid punter in the NFL currently with your New Orleans Saints, which was actually a very good pickup. And like Nick Underhill, Austin, I don't know if you listen to Nick and Mike Triplett over at New Orleans Football, but Nick had this whole fact sheet like about the punter from last year. And, you know, like from the 18-yard line, he had a 17-yard punt or from this and from that. And he went through like 4 or 5 lines of all these stats. He's like I'm not trying to beat this kid up. Or like, it was horrible. But yet they traded him to Arizona and swapped the 6th and the 7th for him. So kudos, as they like to say.
I'm surprised. Think about Arizona. I mean,
look, sometimes, you know, a change of scenery is all you need. So, but thank you, Daniel, for giving us a little insight into.
I get half credit because the punter is now with Arizona, but I still think that only gave me 1.5.
It's
Right?
like 1.25.
And then
Yeah.
we had an LSU. Oh, my kids just walked in on me, but they scared the crap out of me.
No.
remember the
But,
That's a great one. That's a great one, Chip.
So this is Wade. Hold up. I don't care to put my kids on camera. Look back up a little bit. Look, this is Wade.
Hey, Wade.
Hey, Wade, how are
Hey,
you?
what's up?
What's up?
Say go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right. Yeah. You grab your new hat and come show them. Come on. I bought him an LSU hat.
That's awesome.
His
My
first
five-year-old my 5-year-old son stole one of my LSU hats the other day and now claims it's his.
Yeah.
he can do that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. Maybe the kid. You never know where the kid will be. He's not even 5 yet. He turns 5 on the 26th, and he's 48 inches tall so far.
Holy cow.
So yeah.
Wait, hold on. I got to look this up because my son is in the 99. That's a good hat.
Retro. Yeah. Is that a 47 hat? Is that a 47?
It is. So they had a sale. This hat was $10.
That's
I
pretty
got
good.
him this, and I got him a Braves hat. So
Nice.
Woo! Little Ron Gann action.
Right?
yeah.
Ron
So, but
What?
that's what he wanted. That's what he wanted for his birthday. He gets better stuff for his birthday. I got him that just because, but you know.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's awesome.
And then
Oh,
Alontae Taylor, by the way, to give you
Tennessee.
a,
But I mean,
so
20
Cordell
million
Flott,
a year.
yeah,
That's a lot of money.
that's a lot of money for a corner. Yes, it is.
I remember hearing that, but I wouldn't have been able to say that off the top of my head. You probably sent it to me on Twitter or something.
I probably
Zombie.
didn't. I mean, I know that that's not necessarily a thing. So,
Or did you talk about it 2 nights ago? I think you talked about it 2 nights ago.
well, but he's not truly the way that the Saints deployed him. He's not truly an outside corner. He's not truly a slot. He can go back and forth,
Fourth, yeah.
but he was going to get outside cornerback money, which he did. And the Saints weren't going to bring him back at
The
20.
Saints were going to pay him for that. Yeah.
Not, I mean, I don't know if 16 maybe Austin they would have brought him back for, but maybe.
Yeah. I mean, look at what we did with oh my God, how did I forget his CJ Gardner Johnson, right?
Right.
We did the same thing with him. We weren't
Yeah.
going to pay him the money he was asking for either.
Right. Right, because he was that tweener guy. He wasn't really. Yeah.
I was sad about that one because I thought he was like wild. I like that.
I wasn't because he's a Florida Gator.
That is true.
Well, I know him and Dennis Allen. I know this.
Dennis.
Him and Dennis Allen didn't get along very well.
But where is he now?
Is he with? He's with
He's
Detroit.
in Chicago. No, he's with
Or-
Chicago.
He was in Detroit, wasn't he?
No, I
They
thought he went to
traded him.
Buffalo.
Oh, did he just leave? But he was.
Yeah, he just signed with Buffalo. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You see, that's
I
why
think
we
so.
have Austin on. But no, they traded him to Philly. Then he went to Detroit. I think he only did a year in Philly. Huh, Austin?
He bounced around
Yeah.
a lot because he's a locker
And then
room
they
problem.
traded him to the Texans.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Then he went to Chicago, and I think now he's a Buffalo Bill. Yeah, he just
Buffalo
signed with the
Bill.
Bills. And
But I mean, like,
Really?
talk about troll
million.
and talk about attitude. I mean, when he was in Tom Brady's face, when Tom Brady was with Tampa and throwing picks and stuff, like he
let him have it.
absolutely.
Marshawn,
But I mean, like,
allowed to do that.
well,
Only
right.
Marshawn.
But going back to Mickey Loomis, he traded Marshawn, got 3 picks, 3 solid contributors with those 3 picks, and
he
then
got cut.
Marshawn's on the market now. You know, so but Austin. I mean, the Saints have not had cap space in a while, right? So, but
yeah.
when was the last time? And I mean, you would know hopefully better than I because I can't think of it. When was the last time the Saints self-scouted as well as they have this offseason, identified the weak links, and then on day one went and got those missing pieces? I mean, ATN, Edwards at left guard, you're running back, whether he's running back 2 or running back 1, A or B or whatever. But they went out and signed some guys and immediately upgraded. There's still plenty of holes, and there's still things they need to do either through the draft but they haven't backed themselves in a corner where they have to take this person at number, whatever in the first round, like they did with the offensive tackles the last, seemingly 4, 5, 6 years that they were always drafting an offensive tackle
or a defensive end instead of Lamar Jackson.
Well, with 2 first round picks.
Yeah.
Like if you were afraid, and that was right after Kansas City stole Mahomes. So if you were willing to trade 2 1s for Marcus Davenport, what's that football factory that he played college football at? UT San Antonio. UT San Antonio. You're trading 2 1s for him, but you're not going to trade up to get Mahomes, or you're not going to trade to get Lamar Jackson after losing out on Mahomes. Make it make sense, man. But then they missed on Peyton Turner. They missed on Foskey. So they haven't done well at defensive end.
No. And I think a lot of it had to do because Dennis Allen was there during the time, wasn't he? He was our D coordinator at the time. Yeah. So I think it had a lot to do with him and his inability to – I think he had his hands in it too much when it came to scouting, and he made too many decisions. And he should have never made any decisions or ever been our head football coach, but it is what it is. My best friend cautioned me of that because he's a Raiders fan. He's like, just wait. He's going to do the same thing he did with the Raiders. And then y'all got Derek Carr. And I was like, I'm sorry. The first place you went to is Chipotle. I'll never forget that.
No.
My life. I'll never forget that. I literally talked to my dad yesterday and I said, hey, we're coming down for the 4th of July family reunion. My wife doesn't know what culture is. She's from Colorado. Sorry. But my kids are born here. They've never met any other family from the state. We're going to Phillies. I said, hey, bro, I'm going to come down there for a week. We're about to go do everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
But Derek Carr makes too much money to be that stupid. He should, even if he's that stupid, he should have someone in his orbit to say, this is where you're going to go if you go to New Orleans. Pull up Instagram, pull up TikTok. You do a little bit of research. Exactly, and I mean, look, I'm age restricted from TikTok. I'm too old to be, allowed.
Brother, we can teach you quick.
Don't get him started.
No, Daniel will tell you can't teach me technology, anything. But I appreciate the notion. But Austin, all right. So compare and contrast Derek Carr, who was not here the week that his team hosted the Super Bowl, versus Jameis Winston, who freaking every NFL fan in the country absolutely loves and adores and wishes he was on their team. But then look at Tyler Shuck as a rookie. Now look, he's a little bit older than the average rookie. All of it. Tyler.
This kid has a French middle name.
Yeah, he's already ridden in the parade.
Brother,
he gets it. He gets it. And actually, I heard clips today. Tyler Shuck was on what's Caleb Downs' brother's name? The two brothers have a podcast, and it's like Downs to Business, I think it's called. And Tyler Shuck was the guest, and Tyler Shuck
don't laugh, Jim.
Tyler Shuck was like, just get out in the community, man. Like they'll see you and they'll interact with you, and just like Drew Brees said, love New Orleans and she'll love you back, man. But
Derek Carr was too aloof for all that. He just everything seemed fake.
Derek Carr needed advice when he decided to try and jump for the first down when he couldn't even get it. That's when he needed advice.
God, like just.
And if I'm gonna tell you this right now, trade him to the Jets. Give us a pick for him at least.
I would love that.
Jesus, man.
I don't know. That like those opening spots are just kind of like drying up. But just go follow, Hold the Mayo. And even if he went to one of the 300 restaurants that he hit up while he was doing the red beans and rice on Monday. Look, shit, I'm wearing one of his shirts tonight, man. I probably have 6 or 7 of them. So Derek Carr made too much money to be that stupid. He should have been through enough PR training sessions, whatever, to be like, But Tyler Shuck seems to get it. He seems to understand his role, and But even Kellen Moore, Austin, like these guys played for Kellen Moore all the way through the season. I mean, DeMario had season high, career high sack. I mean, not sack numbers. I'm thinking of Cam, but season high tackles, and Cam had the 10.5 sacks. And like this team did not quit on the youngest head coach in the NFL.
Yeah, I told you that early in the year. Like, I bet the under on the Saints win total for the season. And I think after like week 3 or 4, I called Zombie Bob. I'm like, they're sneaky good, man. Like, they're playing hard.
They're playing hard.
Like, I don't think I'm going to win this bet. And I didn't because.
Dude, they put themselves in an incredible position because of the end of the season as well. And we went from being the best division in football when Cam Newton and Drew Brees and all. I hate that my camera keeps doing this. I can't put my hand up. It's about to piss me off so bad. I literally went like this. I'm going to do it. Okay.
Yeah, and it zoomed just there.
Turned green, and it zoomed right in on me.
Better be careful. The Israelis are probably watching.
Listen, brother, stop it. Okay.
Illegal disclaimer. Put it up.
Please. Thank you.
My God.
I'm going to tell you this right now. My cousin is in Italy right now because he can't be in Israel. He was playing basketball, and he's literally like they had to send him to a different country for him to stay for a couple of weeks, and he's not even getting paid right now.
Oh shit!
So my man's out there sourcing diamonds, trying to make jewelry to make money.
Right? Wow,
that's crazy.
But I lost my train of thought, man.
Sorry, I do that.
Jeez.
Yeah, no. All right, but then talk about ATN at running back. Talk about Edwards at guard, and even Noah Fant. They wanted Noah Fant last year, and he went to Cincinnati. Had a very quiet year, but just those 3, and what you think that'll do for the offense.
So I think Noah Fant. I'll start with Noah Fant because ETN I want to save for last because it affects one of my favorite running backs. Okay, with my loyalty club shirt on. But with him, I think Noah Fant didn't get the credit he deserved only because Joe was hurt. Had Joe not been hurt, Joe was pushing the ball to him, right? Like Noah Fant was catching a lot of passes. He was scoring touchdowns, all of that early on in the season. And then Joe went down. And that's when things for Noah Fant kind of went sideways because there's a reason why the backup quarterback's no longer there, right? Mm-hmm. It was time. I'd rather have Jameis Winston as the backup quarterback than Joe Flacco. And the fact that I don't even remember what his name is right now, all I can remember is his wife coming dressed up in all these different outfits.
Jake Browning, right?
Thank you. Jake Browning. There you go.
Nice.
But
I follow a little bit. I crop dust the NFL.
Because I mean, as LSU fans, we have to love Joe. So I think naturally, as a Saints fan, we want to see the Bengals succeed as well. I hope that I have that same sense. Y'all have that same sentiment. If you don't, it's okay. I'm not going to post it all over the internet, but but I think and I just lost my train of thought.
He wears a helmet.
Noah Fant.
Yeah. He's going to be a great tight end, and I think he's who we need. As much as I love Foster Morrow and I love some of these other guys, Juwan Johnson. Yep, Johnson. I had all the J last names.
All the J's, you got them.
But both of them were good. I think Foster, obviously, he dealt with what he dealt with. I think Noah is really underrated, and that dude is a freaking baller. Especially at the tight end position, he'll block. He's big enough and burly enough to block. You're going to need it with ETN coming in because the inconsistencies for him from an O-line perspective were there all season with Jacksonville. And a lot of time he was a pass catching back. We need more of that I personally want Alvin Kamara to be the number one. I really hope we don't give up. He doesn't leave. Like, I really hope he doesn't. I'm going to get right into that right now. Forget about it. I'm just going to do it. I think Alvin Kamara should be number one, and my best friend will tell me he thinks differently. We didn't pay ETN that much money for him to be. But the last time Kamara was successful is when we had a good number two, and that was Mark Ingram. Somebody who could take the weight off of him, somebody who could be that third, fourth down back if we needed to get a yard or two. And if we get to the point where we can block for ETN the way that we will, because of the signings that we've made and the O-line that we've built, Alvin can go back to doing what he was doing before and stay healthy. He hasn't been able to be healthy, right? Like, I remember watching Alvin Kamara when he was at Tennessee, one of the most patient running backs. And I'm not talking about Le'Veon Bell patient, but Alvin Kamara, like the way he hits a hole and you just can't take him down is slim to none. I don't care what anybody says.
It's beautiful to watch. It's beautiful.
Well, he was on par with Christian McCaffrey. Like, him and Christian McCaffrey were 1 and 2 at a time.
Right.
And the only reason Alvin isn't there is because the Saints fell apart when Drew Brees left.
Right.
And so.
But his patience with waiting for his offensive lineman, like that screen pass in 2020 against Green Bay in an empty Superdome.
Yeah, man.
That is the greatest effortless looking touchdown pass ever, because he just, the speed, and then he'd slow down. And then, like, you see, Daniel coached offensive line. I played offensive line in high school. Like, then you see so many running backs, but even so many receivers that just go past their blocker instead of just taking a step back and just slowing it down a moment to let them do what they're supposed to be doing downfield. But Alvin Kamara is better at utilizing his blockers better than anyone I've ever seen, ever.
Yeah. Kevin Falk at LSU.
Kevin Falk was good,
Kevin Falk,
but give me AK.
I know.
AK's the man. And he played under Nick Saban at one point too. So if there's something Nick Saban knows, and we all saw it, was running back. So Drew Falk is he.
I saw that comment from G Moose. G Moose, you're setting up Zombie Bob. I shook my head as soon as
G Moose. I'm gonna tell you this because Zombie, I heard I'm gonna need you to talk to me about your feelings about Drew Brees here in a minute, because we got
the word is out on Zombie Bob.
But
that's okay.
But
that didn't go viral. Listen, a baseball player.
Drew Brees was a helmet. You can say that.
Well, Zombie, we didn't have the clips for that. We were on another show when we did that. Otherwise, I would have put that clip out there.
If the NFL commissioner didn't blatantly hate the New Orleans Saints for all the years that Drew Brees was in New Orleans, maybe we would have more Super Bowls. But clearly, there's some dead brain cells in some of the brains of some of these refs. So I will never forget that. Never. Go ahead.
Well, no, the no call, but who had the Super Bowl that year? Los Angeles, because they had just
who they get to play.
Yeah, exactly. So then, and look,
we were about to walk them down. I'm going to tell you that we were about to walk the Patriots
absolutely
down.
100%. But like we should have Jimmy Graham scored too quickly against the 49ers in January of 2012, and then Vernon Davis and who was the quarterback for San Francisco at that time?
Was it Cap? It wasn't Cap, was it?
No. I can't think of his name. But they went down the field, they scored, and when Jimmy Graham scored, my cousin's jumping on top of me, and I'm like, they scored too quickly. There's too much time left on that. So they would have hosted the
Alex Smith, right?
Yeah, Alex Smith. Thank you, Austin. Yeah. They would have hosted the Giants the next week in the NFC Championship if they held off the 49ers that week. They had already beat the shit out of the Giants, so they should have gotten to the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. Drew Brees should have had a second. So I readily admit he should have had that one. The NOLA no call, obviously, was nothing but bullshit. So he should have had 3 Super Bowl appearances. Even if it was 1 and 2 and no Super Bowls, he would have gotten us there 3 times. Whatever.
You know what? You're spoiled. You're spoiled.
You see, that was the whole thing. And Austin, I don't know if you've heard the story. So our brother Rocky from St. Rose, he and I sat down on a Sunday night in 2011, and they played the Detroit Lions, who they would beat the week before that aforementioned San Francisco 49er game. They hosted the Lions in the playoffs, and they beat them in the playoffs, and then they went to San Francisco. But that particular Sunday night, I sat my fat ass down in the Superdome, and I turned to my brother Rocky, and I'm like, if Drew doesn't hang 35 points tonight, I'm going to be pissed. And they won 31-17 against a team that would make the playoffs. Drew threw for 400. They rushed for 100, over 500 yards total offense. And I was aggravated when I left the Superdome that night. Like, they didn't score 35. They did not score 35. Like, he was so good, except for when he was throwing into triple coverage into the end zone to the third string white tight end. That he loved freaking doing that, but that didn't work.
You spoiled zombie.
I am spoiled, and he was amazing, and God bless him. And look, I've talked about him, born and raised here, all that kind of stuff. I did do 11-year on Long Island. You know, I was going to say prison term, but you know that wasn't a real joke. I was married, but it was good. You know, but I wasn't here for Katrina, so like I don't know truly what it was like, and I mean I know what it is, but you know I wasn't here in the aftermath of Katrina. So like my significant other was, and Julie talks about like you just don't know what it was like and what he and that team meant to this this city coming back and all. So like I totally get it. So but you know like when they were 7-9 for 3 consecutive years. The LSU fans who were beating the shit out of Les Miles for losing a game, we're going to come back to that in a second. But the next day, the Saints fans are like, all right, well, Drew, they lost, but he, his streak of throwing a pass to an odd numbered receiver on the 12th lunar calendar day, while we're like the craziest convoluted, like, oh my God, it's a team sport. Like nobody ever says, okay, well, my goal this season is to make sure that my quarterback completes those crazy stats. Like, no, It's a team sport and you're supposed to win, this, that, and the other and all. G Moose, we're not coming back to your question about your comment about my mother-in-law. We're coming back to you before we say goodnight. But anyway, but Austin, talk about compare and contrast, if you will Wade's comment about the LSU opening with basketball coach and Kellen Moore's comment about AK and whether he'll be on this roster.
Oh,
it's pretty much the same thing.
It's the same thing that happened with Lane. Like I said earlier, Lane did the same thing. He's like, I'm not talking about any other job but this job. This is a job I'm doing right now, right? So I don't know. I don't really like that Kellen Moore didn't. I mean, he's a coach. It's his first. Is it his first head coaching gig?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a first-time head coach. He just came from Philly, right? His son. I'm not his son. His offensive coordinator's son is getting enough heat as it is right now. Okay, so probably shouldn't address too much with players directly. Just saying. For those who didn't troll me about my take on that quarterback, but I think I don't like the fact that he didn't address it only as a fan more than anything, because AK has clearly stated time and time again he doesn't want to play anywhere else. Period. Right. He doesn't want to play anywhere else. He'll go and sit on a beach before he plays for anybody else. And you're going to force him into a corner where he has to change that decision and change that tune. And I'll never hate AK. He has to do ultimately what's best for him.
Sure.
I do not think the backup running back, the kid from TCU, is as good as him, period. I don't care.
No.
Right? He
and
keeps
plus,
getting
he's
hurt.
never healthy. Right.
Yeah, he keeps getting hurt. So, like, I don't give a shit how old Alvin Kamara is. I don't care. He's not retiring. And for me, I was saying, I would have said personally, well, until he's not on this team, he's a part of this team.
Right.
We plan on AK being here, and we'll handle that behind the scenes, but that's not something I'm going to share with you guys right now.
Yeah.
Right. Like, that's how I would have addressed it.
Right.
Because I'm just more bold and more to the point. I don't give a shit what everybody thinks of me. So I'm like, I'm going to say it. I want Alvin Kamara to be our starting running back next year or whatever, right? But
In addition to being media experts, the four of us, maybe we should do PR consulting for these coaches and players, regardless of the league, because you just came up with an excellent answer. That was pretty off the top of your head, well to the point, and would have satisfied everybody, as opposed to all of the. Did you see what he said?
I just can't talk about that at this point. I'm not going to address that right now. Come on, man.
Yeah, all right. But the Saints do have a pretty good track record over the years of. Ricky Williams was here and they drafted Deuce. Deuce was here. They drafted Reggie Bush. Mark Ingram and AK. They've done a really good job about that. And then today's NFL. You need the two running backs. You don't. You can't just.
Detroit's a prime example of that.
Exactly. And then they traded their guy to Houston.
Right, but they're going to go get a younger guy that can do the same thing because he's a bully, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's what they need. They're going to have to go get a young guy that's a bully, and that's okay because you're set at running back, so you can wait till later rounds and go get an unproven guy or somebody who maybe wasn't healthy this year. But I think they let AK go out like Mark Ingram did. Mm-hmm. They let him play the next year or 2 years, however he has 2 left on his contract, right? Or 1? Because they split it 50-50. This is the last one. So they split it to where they're paying him a little bit less money this year.
G Moose is my age, give or take. He's a little bit younger than me, but yeah.
You're talking about Hilliard's
Dalton
dad,
Hilliard.
right?
Dalton Hilliard.
Not talking about Kenny.
That would have been his uncle, right?
Uncle, man, right? Austin's a young buck, man.
I'm thinking about the young.
No. Austin. I saw Dalton Hilliard and Gary James play at LSU as freshmen. The Dalton James game, boy. They were something. But all right. So, do you think the Saints currently have that bully at running back for 3rd and 1, 4th and 1? Now that they've upgraded the offensive line, although Cesar Luis is still your right guard.
No, I honestly do think that they got Etienne to replace Alvin personally. Mm-hmm. I think that's what that move is because he's similar in the way that he does things. The good thing he's from Louisiana. It breaks my heart to see it. I think that they go and they draft a running back this year. I do not think it's Jeremiah Love. I know that's what a lot of people want. It's not going to happen. I don't think that's what we do. I think we focus on defense there. We better not go fucking O-line. I'm going to lose my stuff. And if we draft a damn defensive end, at least we don't have a stupid defensive coordinator to screw it up. He was a good DC, okay? And let me just state that. He was a good DC. But,
just a bad head coach.
Yeah, I just would really be pissed if that is what they're doing right now and Kalen Moore answered that way because of that. It would really piss me off. Mm-hmm. Because I love Alvin. Genuinely, I really do. I went to school in Knoxville, so it's
right.
I don't know.
All right, but do you like Neil?
Your question.
Do you like Neil?
Let me pull up the damn roster really quick.
Well, Neil's the draft choice last year.
He's the one from Kansas.
And he had that huge game against Colorado that year.
Thank you for reminding me because I forgot about him. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do like him.
I do like him a lot.
On that game. Right.
Yeah. And I think he takes over the number 2 spot.
But there's a lot of depth in the draft at running back. Mm-hmm. You can find somebody in it seems like, all right, let's go over to wide receivers. It seems like Chris Bell at number 42 in the second round is a Christmas morning wish list for Tyler Shuck, and that the Saints are going to hopefully fulfill that for him. Thoughts?
Well, yeah, they both play in college in the same team. That would make sense.
Yeah, I think
only know about that.
Bell's a beast. Bell's a beast, man. I like Bell.
It's hard because I haven't really focused enough on the NFL draft this year.
But
I think they make a move that's similar to that big body receiver move, which kind of what you're talking about, where they did with Michael Thomas, where they get somebody who's like a 2nd, 3rd rounder. They can get, if you hear my daughter crying, I'm sorry, but let me go. I need to do some more research. Give me a second.
No, you're fine. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. We'll move on. The Saints had Chris Bell in for an official visit, and he is a college teammate of Tyler Shuck at Louisville. He does have a knee injury, and but now it's a popular mock to put him at 42 to the Saints. Assuming, of course, that the Saints, go defense on at number 8. But the Saints are sitting pretty at number 8, man. if the Oregon quarterback would have come back, well, not gone back, but it would have come out, that would have been 2 of the top 8 would have been quarterbacks, and that would have even been better for the Saints. But it's good. G Moose, we're doing a draft live cast. We just have to figure out the lineup there. So maybe we'll.
I'll join at the end with you.
We'll talk young Austin.
I'll do the whole thing with you, Zombie.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say anything because that was something we talked about a long time ago, and I think some things have changed since then. So.
Yeah, we just got to work on the lineup for it.
Yeah, the lineup is a little different, but
we've got to make some changes to.
But all right, so you talked with passion about AK. Demario Davis is gone.
That hurts.
Yeah. Cam Jordan may be gone. Like the faces now. Look, they're getting infinitely younger.
They're getting old, man. Like,
but they're an old team.
Yeah.
But so they're getting younger, which is good. But then, like, this is like a pretty dramatic turnover in the face and personality, heartbeat of a franchise since I couldn't even tell you. I mean, 20 years, 25 years. Who was really, like that good and that identified with the Saints? I'd have to actually think about that one. But if they lose AK, if Cam Jordan signs elsewhere, and look, Cam is Ring of Honor, Hall of Fame for the NFL, Hall of Fame certainly for the Saints. Yep. If he signs with motherfucking Kansas City, man, like I can't. At
least not with the Bengals, man. Like
I can't abide with signing with Kansas
or with
City.
the Bills. We could go to the Bills.
The Bills.
He could go to Bills.
They just signed the defensive end.
Oh, well, I don't know. But I mean,
I claim to follow the Bills, but I really.
They just signed Bradley Chubb. I'm pretty sure.
I think so. But Caden Ellis comes back. Probably the best blitzing linebacker. Like, he's very, very good at that. And so they have a vision with him for that. Kind of sort of gave him the same amount of money that Demario Davis got with the Jets. So yeah, there was a decision to get a little bit younger there. They still need somebody, whether Cam comes back or not. They need somebody in that rotation at defensive end. They need to find a replacement for Alante Taylor. There's still a wide receiver, whether it's a 2 or a 3, but you really did well. The Saints did with the first few days of free agency.
What's your surprise?
Let me ask you this. Yeah, true. I mean, they haven't done it in a while because they haven't had the cap space. Like,
that is
I was
true.
trying to tell Daniel, and he, again, like, I always joke about, instead of kudos, it's Cujo's, like the killer dog, the Stephen King novel and movie. But I told Daniel, and kudos to Daniel for putting up with this with this segment, because this isn't his bag. But in 2027, the Saints are in the top 10 with the most available salary cap. Like, there's a lot of money, coming up, because they don't have a whole lot of guys that they've got to these big. I know, look, they're going to extend Olave and sign him to a new contract, and he's going to eat because he had a fantastic year, even though he had some drops and some issues, and even though he had Spencer Rattler in the beginning and a banged up line and everything, he would have been the first Saints receiver ever. 100 receptions, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, but for that blood clot right at the end. But
it's 12th total cap space for 2027. 12th.
Okay. So I mean, like,
it's better than being in cap hell for the last
exactly.
decade.
But you see, as much heat as Mickey Loomis takes, or the Saints front office takes, with other than this past draft, with the misses in the draft year after year after year. Their ability, I mean, just what they did with AK's contract that nobody knows about or knew about. I think it was Ross Jackson with not Inside, but Locked On Saints. He's like, or maybe even Nick Underhill, or both. They're like, we learned things that this front office does that nobody else has ever done ever. And like, hurry up and do the research and figure it out, and so that we can speak on it. But their ability to manage the cap and get out of cap hell year after year after year. So it's amazing what they're going to be able to do 12th in overall with cap space with a rookie quarterback on a second round contract and all. So it's exciting times at LSU with Lane Kiffin and this roster. It's certainly exciting times if you're a Saints fan, not Daniel. But with Kellen Moore, young head coach, innovative on offense, a young quarterback that seems to be the franchise quarterback. So there's a lot to be excited about football wise in Louisiana.
Yeah, this year is going to be. You won't have to see pissed off Saints fans watching LSU games on Saturday saying how they just don't want to watch the Saints on Sunday.
Right.
And it's the first time in a while, honestly. I mean, we haven't been dead last in the NFC South in forever,
Right.
so, or at least that bad. So I don't know, man. I think the Saints did some things. They surprised a lot of people.
Right.
Day one, day two of free agency with the little moves that they've been making these last couple of days. And I am not going to make some outlandish projection like I did for the Tigers this year with Lane Kiffin stepping in, but I do think the Saints are in a way better position than they've been in a while. And
no, absolutely.
Tyler,
no, wait. What's your, not to put you on the spot, what's your outlandish prediction with the LSU football?
So I said I would love to see. I think LSU can get to the national title game this year.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think there's no reason for them not to. You bring a number, in my opinion, and for the USC fans out there, I don't care. Number one offensive mind in college football, period, right? He is the best offensive coordinator in college football right now, period, right? I mean, he's getting tracked down by every NFL damn team in the country. And so you place that with a defense who should have been a top really 15 defense probably, had Nussmeier and them being capable enough and BK been capable enough to hold some damn accountability and get that team to score more than 20 points against Power 4 teams other than Houston. You see that we give Blake Baker some help, and I think that we're a lot different of a team this year. And I hate to say it, but I think Brian Kelly still has a job. And so, but the inability to do so, the inconsistencies over the last 3 years of him being here, or 4 years, I think maybe I'm off by a year, but it's frustrating. You don't have that anymore. You're not going to worry about running the ball with Lane Kiffin. That's not going to be a problem. You're not going to come into the season and have a coach who says that his O-line's going to gel as the season goes along, where your O-line should be pushing people around from game one.
Right.
They shouldn't struggle, right? I understand our center got hurt and we dealt with some other things, but my biggest issue with it is that you can't say you're an offensive line guru and then you're about to literally get shown that you weren't shit by James Craig, who literally sued the school who he works for.
Right.
And an offensive line coach who everybody shit on because he was at Kentucky last year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sorry, they're going to do a better job than BK ever did at LSU with O-line.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that was Daniel's contention. Campbell and who was the right tackle? I can't think of
Emory
his name.
Jones.
Jones.
Emory Jones
They were fantastic as freshmen, and then it seemingly regressed year after year after that.
Specifically on run blocking, yes.
So
I got to be careful with who I call overrated.
No. But Campbell. Every time I turned on the game to watch an LSU game, Campbell had a false start as a junior, and I'm like, "What are you doing? You're a team captain."
Now they're dogging on the kid. They're dogging on the kid in the NFL. He's a freaking rookie. Jesus, man.
Yeah. I mean, he went against some stud defensive.
He did, and yes, and there's a guy. There's
a
guy that's a Patriots fan that said he's skinny fat.
Well, I did hear some people talking about he wasn't in shape, NFL shape. It takes a couple of years. It was some NFL guy. It might have been on the Bussin' with the Boys, Taylor Lewan.
That might have been where I saw the skinny fat thing.
Yeah, they were saying that it took them a couple years to really learn how to get into the next level of in shape, where you could last the full 20 games. And then poor Will Campbell, not only was it the full 20 games counting the preseason, it was
and then the playoffs.
Yeah, the playoffs. And
right.
So he was just beat to hell at the end of it. His body just couldn't hang. I'm pretty sure it was the Bussin' with the Boys guy said. I heard.
Did y'all see that clip? I think it's TikTok, but it was on Twitter of Aaron Donald in his pool. He picked up a water bottle and just held it down. Then he picked up a 5-gallon water jug and one-handed it, then grabbed a drink and took a drink as he's just holding it straight out, boom, 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 spilling out and all. So, but
he's
anyway,
a monster.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And then his workouts, like guys that have gone to work out with him and just like, okay, oh my God, we survived. Like I survived this. And he's like, that was the warm up. Now we got to do the workout. Holy cow, man. And that's, whatever. But we'll see how Campbell bounces back and all that. So, all right, Austin, we're pushing the 11 o'clock hour here. I know you're an hour behind us. You're in Mountain Time.
It's almost 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, but you got young kids and stuff. So, so before we cut you loose, tell everybody once again, we sincerely appreciate your time and coming on.
Big time.
It was fantastic having you. And tell everybody again where they can find you. When are you podcasting? Do you have a regular schedule, or when are you doing that? Tell everybody where they can find you.
So my scheduled days are Thursdays and Fridays. So I usually post what I'm going to talk about early on Thursdays, if I can, Thursday nights for Friday, right? But if not, it's early morning on Fridays. I wake up around like 6-ish in the morning here and get all that stuff out for you guys. And then Fourth and Go is going to be my Twitter handle for my podcast. Okay. Austin Taylor actually it's not even on the screen. It's Austin AUSTON Taylor. That's just at Austin Taylor on X for my regular stuff. And then Fourth and Go, I believe, is my TikTok name. You guys can find me on there as well. And then I have some stuff for you guys, not y'all, but in general, I have some stuff I'll announce tomorrow on my show on Friday as well. So if y'all get a chance to come watch as well, I'd love that. So
absolutely. All right, man. Fantastic having you tonight. And we'll have everybody come and take a look at it. And let's do this again sometime.
Heck yeah.
Definitely.
Zombie, I appreciate you. And I was going to say this too, fellas. I love all of you guys. I think y'all are all amazing. I think you're great no matter the hate that you're getting right now. And y'all will forever have me as somebody who supports you. I don't care what's said. We're human beings. We're men. We can handle our business behind the scenes and not let it bleed into our content. Be happy, be joyful, and know you always got a supporter in me. So I love y'all very much.
We sincerely appreciate that, Austin.
Sincerely.
Definitely.
So, appreciate y'all, fellas.
All right, man. All right. Before we sign off, and Austin, you can stick around. I gotta give a shout out to my boy G Moose in the chat, right? So G Moose, like, I don't know how this came up because I wasn't part of this conversation. But we all, you and Chip were podcasting, Daniel. This was off screen. Y'all were just talking on the phone. But somehow it was, we're talking about like who my favorite person in the chat was.
Oh, if we had a draft of our loyal listeners, who would Zombie Bob's #1 overall pick be?
G Moose. They both got it wrong. They both got it wrong. Now, look, they went with somebody near and dear to my heart, Mrs. Spotify, who I know in real life as well. But G Moose is my guy, man. We're roughly the same age. We have the same points of references. Our grandmothers went to the same green. What was the stamp? The green stamps. He mentioned it the other night with off of Gentilly Boulevard that he would go with his family to redeem those green stamps, like I did with Big Al back in the day. So. G Moose, I got you. You're my #1 draft choice. These two guys flubbed it. They mocked it wrong. And
I had Queen Pizza as your second round pick. Because Zombie has the propensity to always pick the ladies. So that's why. That's why I had you with Mrs. Spotify.
Right. It's all
and then
good.
I had you with Queen Pizza second.
All right.
And Chance says Zombie. Come on, we were both at
exactly.
The
well,
no, Chance is saying he should be first because of that.
But Chance, I thought you were younger than that. So, no. But anyway, all right, that's it for tonight, guys. All right, wait, before we go, like, the hell are we doing on Sunday night? Do we have a plan for Sunday night? Because you and I are both riding Sunday on Metairie Road, and I am not.
I will be here. I'll be here.
You're going to be there?
Yeah, okay. I'm not. You know who I can.
Well, I got Loco and Booty in town. So.
Well, yeah, you got people in town. I got to drive the wife back to Baton Rouge, and then I still got 2 young kids. I'm gonna have to put to bed and everything. So.
Oh, you guys
life
on grandma duty?
No, not that night, because then I got to go to work the next day.
No, Sunday during the day. They got grandma duty?
Yeah, grandma duty, but then I'm still going to have to come home and put the kids to bed.
All right.
Yeah, grandma put the kids to bed.
It's funny that you're talking about what you have going on, bro. I got so much hate from people behind the scenes for talking about my life. You're literally talking about like, hey, I may not be able to podcast because I have kids and other priorities, right? We still do content anyways, but like, come on, guys.
You just fit it around.
Some people are just
fucking haters.
Yes, haters. People love to.
Listen, man. Zombies like get me the fuck out of here.
No, it's all good. Like I don't understand it, man. Like
dude,
I don't understand it.
Like I literally, we are building community, man. Like I didn't know any of y'all about what 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And I still don't know you. I've never met you.
Right.
But I have a life. You guys have a life. Y'all have kids, families. I know Chip deals with some stuff, but he's the fucking man. And so like, bro, go deal with what you need to deal with. We will all be back and active. Yeah. On that note, it's been fantastic. Also, we really appreciate you coming on, man, and all the kind words. We sincerely appreciate it. We certainly want to do this again. Chance and Chad and G Moose and everybody else. Blake Rufino earlier in the night. Alexa got hacked. And sorry. And it's all good. There's the music, Daniel.
Yeah, I couldn't. My music messed me up there. So anyway, I only got one last thing to say to you, Zombie. And good night, Mrs. Calabash.
Wherever you are. All right, folks. Thank y'all.